Thanks to the support as a channel member, Liam Cooney. Well, after a slightly iffy start, we've turned things around at the Champions League stage, but that can all come crumbling down around us today as we face Bayern Munich. We're still the favourites to win the whole thing. I think we need to go and prove it. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 11 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have that big Champions League game at home against Bayern Munich. We are also in the Champions League away against Porto as we look to finalise our qualification for the last 8. Horrifically, I've just seen we've got the Club World Cup this season. Oh, anyone who's watched a lot of Non-League to Legend over the years will know I was going to say love-hate. It's not. It's a hate-hate relationship with the Club World Cup. What finer way to have the finale of the series than ballsing that up once again. Coming soon in a few days, regardless of what happens in this. Oh, God, Bennett. I hate the Club World Cup. It'll be fine. Since you're last with me, as you can see, we've had a little bit of a wobble domestically, including getting absolutely spanked by Spurs. We also lost to Wolves, which means we currently find ourselves in second place in the Premier League, 2 points behind Manchester United. We do have a game in hand and a much better goal difference. So if we win those, we will move back above them. We also play Manchester United off camera between these two Champions League games. A couple of big games, actually, Manchester United and Preston. Premier League could look very different by the time we play that Porto game. But the main concern this season is, of course, the Champions League. We need to beat Bayern Munich, and this is the team we're going to put out there to try and do that. We've got Blanco in goal, a back four of Peralta, Corgi, Antunes, and Malik. Jaeger at the base of the midfield, Bellingham and Ramon ahead of him, Kone on the left, Jallo on the right, Aspas up front. Let's get the team submitted. Let's get out there and hopefully perform a little bit better than we did against Barcelona in yesterday's episode, because that was a disappointment. In fact, it's not fair to say perform a little better. I think we probably deserved something out of that Barcelona game. We were a little naive and just didn't capitalise on our chances and let them grab a late goal. Whereas today, we want to dole out a spanking. The defeat we've just had against Spurs hurt, though, and that could have an impact on our form, on our momentum, and certainly if we were to pick up another poor result here with those Manchester United and Preston games on the horizon, this season could take a little bit of a twist yet. Kone then on the left-hand side plays it back to Peralta. Now back with Kone as he comes infield, gives it to Jaeger. Now Bellingham, lovely ball over the top for Jallo, who is in and has grabbed his 10th goal of the season. That is exactly what we needed. An early-ish opening goal against Bayern Munich. Liverpool 1, Bayern 0. And this is a well-worked goal from some of our more reliable performers over our time at the club. It's a lovely ball over the top from Bellingham, who, as you can see, has forced his way back into the team. And that goal, as things stand, forces us to the top of the Champions League, which after losing our first game is no mean feat. Let's grab a couple more, put the game beyond doubt, and then we'll be fine. Look at that. What, just misplaced pass from Bayern. Aspas is there tracking back. And now Jallo plays it over the top, looking for the run of Aspas, who's in here. If he can find the finish, he can't. It hits the base of the post, the outside of the base of the post, and goes behind for a goal kick. That was a big opportunity. I mean, to be fair, Aspas did create it himself, but then after creating it himself, ran full pelt up the pitch. And I just don't think he had any oomph left in him by the time he was ready to have the shot. And that's why it was so poorly placed. Bellingham then outside of his foot to Aspas, and now Peralta playing or coming infield, gives it to Jaeger, and Malik is now forward on the overlap with loads of space. He's just drilled it, looking for that top corner, but it goes over. That was an interesting choice from the youngster Malik, who probably could have just slid that across goal where there was a queue of players ready to tap it in, went for glory on his own, and hopefully we don't live to regret another spurned chance. Despite us having that goal, the game is now starting to take a very similar shape to the Barcelona one. We're having plenty of chances. We should have put this game to bed already. It's only 1-0, and Bayern Munich are good. Musiala is one of the best players in the world, and we need to grab a second while we're on top. Kone has got him behind again. He's had a very good game today, and Peralta has been brought down there. I suspect that's outside of the area. The referee is checking with VAR. It looked, I mean, it's right on the edge. I think it was probably outside, but we'll very much take a penalty here if one is being offered. The ref is checking, and it is a penalty. That's a big call. It looked outside the area to me, but I am not going to protest too much, and it's going to be Jallo to take the penalty, and he scores 2-0, and that makes me feel a lot more comfortable than I was feeling before we scored the penalty. I mean, obviously, we're 2-0 up now. What a weird piece of commentary that is. 2-0, though, and hopefully putting the game beyond doubt. Obviously, a third before half-time, and we really can feel a lot more comfortable going into that second half. Jaeger winning the ball back in midfield. It's lovely work from him, and Jaeger playing it out to Kone, and now Ramon, and we are up for it now, although that's an overhit heavy pass from Ramon, looking for Aspas, didn't get anywhere near him, and it's back with the Bayern Munich goalkeeper once again, who takes his time, looks to pick his spot, lumps it forward onto the head of Jaeger, who just seems to be everywhere. Jaeger breaking back into the team now at the base of the midfield. It's where he played when we first signed him. He's then had a difficult almost a year in and out of the side, not really fulfilling the potential that we felt that he had. He has been back in the team at the base of this midfield just lately, and he's having a really, really good game today. And now Bellingham is there with the tap in, and it's now 3-0, and it's all very comfortable all of a sudden. And I think we are looking pretty good for those knockout rounds in the Champions League. It's good work from Jallo again. Plays it back to Bellingham, who has one go at it. I think the original shot was going wide, but the keeper saved it and pushed it back into the path of Bellingham, who then had an open goal to just tap it into. We're 3-0 up. We're good value for the 3-0 as well. 3.03 on the XG. I mean, the scoreline is as close to XG as you can get on both sides of the bracket. So I guess we can't really complain. Aspas wins the ball back again. We are, every time Bayern get the ball, we are on top of them, and Aspas couldn't quite get in, but he's got there at the second time. I think he might be offside. Jallo played it across to him. He's found the back of the net. The referee finger in his ear once again. Probably going to be disallowing it. Although, no, it is disallowed. I mean, 4 probably flatters us a little bit. We're having a look at it on the replay here. It was the ball back in from Jallo. Aspas had found himself just a smidgen offside, but we've started this second half the same way we played the first half, very much up for it. I think that Tottenham result that we've just had in the Premier League has stung us a little bit, and that's been chalked up for Ramon. That must have just been some serious spin on the ball, I guess. It's hit the crossbar, gone up in the air, bounced, and then gone over the line. This is one of the most bizarre goals I've ever seen. I mean, it's absolutely an own goal, but somehow it's been chalked up for Ramon. It's 4-0. Bayern Munich are absolutely ruined here. I mean, they do not know what's hit, and we are all over them constantly. Anytime they get the ball, we don't give them any chance to settle. We're just taking it off them, and we've just been ruthless and clinical in front of goal, and now we've given away. I mean, well, at least we saved some money on clean sheet bonuses. That was sloppy from us. Peralta could have got that clear. A little bit of complacency, maybe, just general sloppiness. It was a nothing attack, really. Peralta clears into, I don't even know if it was into the back of the legs of one of our defenders or maybe the on-rushing Bayern Munich player. Either way, should have just been dealt with. It wasn't. 4-1, we're not worried, but just shows we have got a little bit of chaos left in us still. Right, we're going to make some substitutions. Aspas is going to come off for Sen. We're also going to take off Jallo and bring on Borges. We're going to take off Kone and bring on Jean Carlos on that left-hand side. There's a lot of tired legs out here. We'll take off Malik and bring on Wilson. And then for the final change, Jude Bellingham can come off and Harvey Elliott can come on in midfield. 5 changes, all in one go. We're 4-1 up. I think we can do 5 substitutions and just keep everybody fit, ready for these big Premier League games that we've got up and coming. And there is number 5. And it's Antunes with the towering header at the far post. It looked like an overhit corner from Jean Carlos. It went way up in the air, but Antunes is a big boy and gets a good firm contact on it. Fires it past the goalkeeper, and it's 5-1. Bayern now with a free kick on the edge area. One of my boys from Twitch this year, Dewey, who was part of my Peterborough team on Twitch during the beta, I think. Highlights of that available on LOLLUJO too, as with all of my streams. I think at the moment, I'm trying to check the calendar. I'm on holiday at the moment as things stand, as this video comes out. So I think Editor Chris is putting out highlights of a save I did with Leipzig, where we did a 24-hour stream, managed Leipzig, and I think they're the highlights that are coming out over the next couple of weeks while I'm sunning myself in Tenerife. But Corgi plays it across to Jaeger, and now Elliott to Borges. Sen couldn't quite get it back into the path of Borges, whose incredible form that he was in yesterday has calmed down a little bit, but he is still having a very good season, as is Sen, who's got in behind here. Can he square it for Borges? Instead, he gives it back to Peralta. It's bobbling around in the area. Someone just needs to hit it. Peralta does. It hits the crossbar and goes behind for a goal kick. It remains 5-1. I mean, we have absolutely battered Bayern Munich here today. Juventus, former club Juventus, are right up there in second place in the Champions League as it stands. I mean, how many Kev clubs are we going to have in the top 8 this year? We've got Liverpool, Juventus, Preston, Barcelona are there. Spurs are probably going to miss out, but we could conceivably have 5 of the top 8 as teams that I built. I'd quite like that. That would be a fun thing to do. Less fun is that Corgi is tired, so we need to send him on a little holiday, give him a little bit of a rest, and we're going to play these Premier League games off camera, and then we will be back for Porto, which I don't think it can secure. That's the wrong league table. I don't think it can secure the top 8, but it can certainly get us a big chunk of the way there. Well, form is officially back. 3-0 over Bournemouth, 4-0 over Manchester United, 4-2 over Preston, leaves us back at the top of the Premier League, where we're supposed to be, 4 points clear, game in hand, loads of goal difference advantage. That's why I'm not really showing you the Premier League this year, because we are going to storm it. And we'd also like to do the same thing to the Champions League. So this game against Porto, pretty important when it comes to securing that top 8 finish. A win here, and we are just about over the line. So we're going with Blanco in goal, a back four of Peralta, Corgi, Kudimbana and Wilson. Bellingham at the base of the midfield, Jalili and Ramon ahead of him. And then the usual front 3, Kone, Jallo and Aspas. Sen does rotate in, probably plays more Premier League games than Aspas does. I mean, it's just the way it's fallen. I'm kind of rotating them. It's not a deliberate, conscious thing to play one of them in the league, one of them in the Champions League. And in actual fact, now I'm thinking about it, I'm expecting Sen to come knocking on my door sometime soon complaining about... No, sorry, Aspas to come knocking on my door complaining about lack of football because he's playing more in the Champions League. So we might have to reverse it in the second half of the season and just make sure that Aspas still gets his correct amount of league football. You know how to manage this kind of stuff in Football Manager. It's one of those things. Even though Aspas is playing all the Champions League games, if he's not starting enough league games, he'll get a grumpy on, even though these are the bigger games and the ones that we care more about this season. But let's not worry about that for now. Let's worry about beating Porto. It's 0-0 halfway through this first half, so we could do with grabbing a goal, please and thank you. Goals have been very easy to come by in this little run of Premier League form that we've been on, so fingers crossed we will not concede an early goal. Well, as the goal was going in, the doorbell was ringing and I received a big bag of socks. So fingers crossed, with the power of socks, we can disallow this goal even. What I was going to say, with the power of the socks, hopefully we can grab an immediate equaliser. But this is not how today's game was supposed to start. I mean, that's a soft goal to concede as well. 1-0 then to Porto. And we need to sort ourselves out and get back into this match. Obviously, we've got a lot of firepower down on that bench. Andrew McRobbie, one of the name in the game players, is in the team for Porto. It's not often they just randomly appear in episodes there, but if you are Andrew McRobbie, say hello in the comment section. Give us a little wave. Now Anna's coming in and trying to wave shorts at me. It's all kicking off. Goodness me, Porto are in again. It seems clearly the only way to beat Porto is to avoid all interruptions during the match. We've had 2 interruptions and conceded 2 goals. This is becoming more challenging. I don't want to see your filthy replay. We're going to go attacking. I think we got... Do I berate? I'm not going to berate. I'm going to demand more. But if this continues, a beration is incoming. This is similar to what happened against Tottenham. Every now and again, we just have a game where we're rubbish. We were so good against Manchester United and Preston, who you would both expect to be better teams than Porto. But we are struggling a little bit against Porto. We have the goal back through Aspas, though. And it is I mean, it said in the commentary, devastating counter-attack. And it really is. What a pass from Ramon. Aspas is in, doesn't need asking twice. And if we can grab another one before half-time, we'll start the second half nice and level and less stress. I mean, look at the state of the match stats. There's no way we should be behind in this match. I'm not really sure how that's happened. Right, let's give them all a firm telling off. What have we got down on the bench? Are we going to make a half-time change? We're probably not, but I am looking at the likes of Sen, Borges as potential options. Will be coming on sooner rather than later in this second half if things don't go to plan. We're going to offer some encouragement straight away to try and ease them. We'll just gently persuade them to do a football goal. And if that doesn't work, then I will start shouting. Right, it's with their goalkeeper. Just send it back their way. Oh, my word. What is Blanco doing out there? What on earth? Now it's time to berate them. I don't even... What is Blanco doing there? It's 3-1, and I don't understand how. We are so much better than this team, but that is absolute madness from Blanco. It's not as if he even starts, so he starts in the area, but just completely misjudges the flight of the ball, rushes out, stops, rushes back again. That's disastrous. Right, Jallo on the right-hand side. Plays it into Aspas. Aspas has been fouled there, surely. Do we not get a penalty? Apparently we don't. Kone wins the ball back, though, and we need a goal now, or else there you go. That's got to be a penalty. The first one should have been as well, but that one absolutely should be. Their goalkeeper is furious. I'll be furious if we don't get a penalty given here, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. If the ref's going to stop play like that while we're attacking, you better be giving us a penalty for it, or there'll be consequences. I don't know what the consequences would be, but Jallo is stepping up to try and pull one back again, and it's saved, and it doesn't rain, it pours. It's just one of those days. Every now and again, Football Manager will just decide you're not going to win the match, and it seems like today is the day that it's made that decision. We are berating. I very rarely do it, but this has been pathetic. Porto are a team that we should be beating comfortably. I think we make changes. We're making early changes. Right. We're going to bring Borges on for Jallo. I think we're going to take a midfielder off. We're going to take off Jalili and bring on Sen. And I rarely do this, but we are throwing two men up front. We've got to get back into this match. So Bellingham can just tuck in there in midfield, and we'll play two advanced forwards. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Two changes and a change in formation. Two strikers on the pitch now. Can we do a goal, please? We're demanding more again. Nothing is happening. Can somebody please do a football? Kone is having a terrible game. Harvey Elliott's going to come on for him. Bellingham is having they're not necessarily having terrible games. They're tiring. I mean, no one's playing well today. Filipov is going to come on for him. Peralta is going to come off for Pereira. And I think we've lost this one, and I don't understand how. The Barcelona one was more understandable. But look at the state of those match stats. Look at the XG. The XG is literally a reversal of the scoreline. And I don't understand. We have been absolutely mugged here. And it might cost us a top 8 finish when it comes to getting through this Champions League that we've kind of committed to winning this season. This was very much not in the script. We need to cut this out. We did it against Spurs. We did it against Wolves. We've now done it against Porto. We need to cut this nonsense out where we just have games where we switch off and are rubbish. And I don't understand why. Blanco has to take some of the responsibility for that third goal, but it's not like we've gone out and made any attempt to score a goal to get us back into it. We missed the penalty, and that was the last time we did an attack. Aspas has won the ball back, finds Sen, who in turn finds Borges. Filipov now, we've not got time. Even if we score here, there's not enough time left. This will just flatter us a little bit, but even then, Sen with the header that goes over, and that has been what can only be described as a poor day at the office. At least I've got some new socks. New socks. So guess that makes it worth it. Let's have a little look at the league table, see what damage has been done. We are 6th place with 2 games to play. It's not all over. Monaco have won 6 from 6. They must have had an easy draw. They've secured their top 8 already. We've still got 2 games to play. Young Boys and Celtic. They're 2 matches you would expect us to win. But there is a little bit of jeopardy, as we could drop out of the top 8, and that makes the Champions League that much harder to win. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.